I ain't too good at goodbyes. Ooh. All the struggles are right between my eyes. Ooh. Goodbyes suck. Goodbyes are not easy. I said goodbye to my grandfather this past week here. And, it was kind of beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. I know I talked about it before on other podcasts. I'm going to talk a little bit about it again. And how kind of the goodbye was reignited, I should say. Because, dementia is one, and the pastor said it too during his little speech. He said dementia is one. It's a horrific disease that leads a family coping and struggling years before the individual actually passes. And I've described it as, my grandfather's vessel remained here up until, a few weeks ago, but he left years ago, right? So I said my goodbye years ago. But I didn't make this right away. I wanted to do several days because, and I'll get into it, but I wanted to be away from it for a little bit and be able to calm down and kind of reflect in, because I was so emotional, and I'll tell you why. And I think I said in the last one that, I didn't cry when I heard the news, that Grandpa's gonna, this is probably his last day. And then when it was official, I was like, I was at peace, kind of a selfish peace of, for me and him, And I didn't cry. I didn't shed a tear. And like I said, the reason why is because I cried years ago when he stopped knowing who I was, right? When he stopped, we stopped having conversations that we usually had. When, he stopped being Grandpa, he stopped being him. And that's when I really cried. That's when I really coped. That's when I really struggled. And it's been years. So, I can't sit and cry every time. I can't always just be down. I got to figure out a way to get through things. So I was really good, but then like I said, it got reignited. And at the funeral, first off, I was amazed. He's a old timer, a traditional man, a farmer, his whole entire life, lived on the exact same plot of land from the time he was 7, right? Took it over from his parents, and then, lived in that house for a while, knocked that house, built another house on the same property. His son took it over, and he helped him out a lot. My uncle took it over, and Grandpa helped out a lot. Very traditional man in a very, very small town. The town that he lives in is going to blow some people away, because people who aren't used to small towns, but their town has like 550 people. That's what the population sign says, 550 people. And it was amazing to see that there was literally a town of 550 people. Now, people came from other towns too, but there was probably over 100 people there. It was really cool, It's just like... I've heard there's a thing, it's starting to become common for people to do like live funerals. So it's like, you wouldn't just have it when you're 55 years old just to see who come to your funeral, but like someone who has a disease, most people see it coming. Most people's death you get to see coming. So like weeks before, when they're in okay condition, but it's, they're deteriorating, it's going to be quick. You'll have people come and do your funeral then while you're alive, and then talk about you, because the amazing things people say about you. It's like, why do we wait till someone dies to get emotional about them and tell them how amazing they were and how much they affected? Because we don't know. I mean, a lot of people believe in the spirit and that they're around and they're here and they're listening, blah, blah, blah. We don't know. We can't prove it either way. So why don't we drop the fucking ego, drop the fucking tough guy act, and just tell people how we fucking feel about them? With, like, I always say it, man, emotions and emotional don't need to be the same thing, man. I have emotions, but I can express my emotions in a very unemotional way that isn't weighing on people, doesn't make things awkward. I always say I'm not a very awkward person, and it's not because I don't say things or do things that other people, if they did them, would be awkward, or people may even think they're awkward. I just don't let things be awkward, because what's the point of it? So I don't, if you say something that you didn't want to say, fucking rock with it, dog. Don't be like, oh shit, just fucking rock with it. And so stuff like that, people have a hard time doing their feelings. Just say it. Like, oh yeah, I like you. Yeah, it doesn't be like, hey, I like you, Sarah. No, just like, hey, Sarah, you know what? I like you. Boom, bada bing, bada boom. Leave it, man. And anyway, so the reason it got reinvigorated was hearing all these stories about him again, and again, he's been gone for years from me, so I forget about these things, and I forget about how much he really meant to me. And again, he was my grandpa, but we called him Papa because literally he was literally like a second father. He retired, quote unquote, from farming. So basically he just, did a lot less to spend time with us. And we lived 3.5 hours away from him. And my dad traveled a lot, and he would always be the one who would come up and take care of us for the whole week. And he loved it. And, I always, hear about him loving it from my grandma or, looking at pictures, but hearing all these other people I don't even fucking know. That's the worst goddamn thing. Am I not right? Let's backtrack here. That's the worst thing about weddings, funerals, graduations, any big event where it's not like a bar is different. Because a bunch of groups that don't know each other, all, 10 groups within one building, and everyone just mixes and mingles, right? No, my grandma knew everybody there. My mom knew just about everybody there, right? Everybody there knew who me and my brother and sister were, but we didn't know who the fuck with y'all. We didn't know who the fuck was talking to us. They would just come up to us and be like, a lot of them was talking to my sister about her basketball. Oh my God, there was 90 of them. Oh, you're really good at basketball. And she's like, oh yeah, thanks, I really appreciate that. And they would always oh, Mackenzie, you're so good at basketball. And she'd be like, yeah, I don't know your name, but yeah, that's the weird thing. But just having other people come around to me and tell me some stories. There was this one beautiful one, and this one I forgot, man. And this is really small. And for this guy I knew of, he is my great uncle. He's a cousin, right? Great uncle, yeah, because he's a cousin of my mom. No, my second cousin then. Yeah, duh, you'd be my second cousin. Duh. Great uncle would be my grandpa's brother. Yeah, anyway, my second cousin, I've never talked to him. Ever. We know of each other, he was always around at certain things, but I never had a conversation with him. He came over to me and my sister, and we talked for 15 minutes with him. And it was really nice. And, him thinking about good memories. And one memory specifically, he said that I completely forgot. Kenzie remembered. She was a little bit younger than me, so maybe it was more influential on her. But it was just amazing how that was the event he was talking about. He was saying, this guy came up, he's like, oh, yeah. He would always talk about how he went up there and took you guys to the beach, man. He just loved it. He's a farmer, man, who had skin cancer, actually. So he wore, jeans, long sleeve Western shirts, and a hat with a thick brim because he had to stay out of the sun because, that's where the quote unquote term redneck comes from. It's because they're out there. It's a blue collar worker. It's someone, the manual labor worker, someone who's out on the land working their fucking ass off, and the sun will burn you. And usually the thing that people leave covered up and turn their back, people turn their back to the sun. The thing they forget to cover up is the neck, and then you get a red neck. Yeah. So he literally, because of being stupid when he was young and not covering himself up in sunscreen XYZ, maybe not stupid, maybe he didn't know. Back in the day they did promote smoking, so who the fuck knows? But he developed skin cancer and passed the genes on to my mom too. So she's got to be careful too. But yeah, so the fact that he's like, yeah, oh my God, he took you guys to the beach and he loved taking you guys to the beach. I'm like, really? Because I know if he took us to the beach, he was sitting his ass in the sand in the jeans and long sleeve shirts with the fucking thick brim or wide brim hat on. He was probably sweating sweating goggles, man. He's probably providing more water than the fucking lake there was. I can't imagine he would really enjoy that, but I don't know. That's probably the place that we really enjoyed as kids, and just spending time with us. It was really cool. It's like you gotta. That's the thing, man. We think we need love so much from these other people, man. We need followers. We need fans. We need, friends, No, man, you don't need friends. Any one of your friends that you really love, that's your family, man. You don't need fucking friends. You have allies, you have enemies, and you have family. There ain't no if, and, or buts, and nothing in between, man. Allies and enemies, allies are acquaintances. Maybe business work, or you're friends of friends. You're nice to each other. Blah blah blah. But we think we need the love of these people who really mean nothing to us, and maybe that's what I was struggling with, and maybe that's why that story was so profound to me on that time. You don't need the love from Johnny Joe Schmidt. Fuck. Who cares? Who cares if he likes you? Who cares? Right? and I know not everyone's privileged or privileged with this, with an amazing family. I think a lot of people are. That's what I'm saying is like, if you feel unloved, you feel down, you feel like no one cares about you, look around, look harder, because you probably overlooked exactly who really matters, right? Your mom, dad, brother, sister, best fucking friends, grandpa, grandma, aunt, uncle, cousins, right? Those are the people that matter the most. Those are the people who know you, man. What is it? What is life without the people you care and love surrounding you and to share it with, right? And they're the only ones who really know you, right? Maybe even not. You're the only one who knows you. Let's even go deeper. You're the only one who knows you. So at the end of the day, if you're not privy to having a great family, which I know it exists. I know it exists. But look around. I know there's one. There's a grandma, grandpa. You got 2 sets of them. A mom or a dad. There's one of those motherfucking 6 that care a shit ton about you. I have to believe that, And maybe they do some stupid things, but they probably do love you. And we got to look deep in that. And, I was just reminded of that, and that rewoke it all. And oh my God. Then I started getting emotional. I was like, oh God. Grandpa, why'd they take you? Oh God. No, I got a little choked up, but it was fun. It was nice to see people, and we went to his town. So I grew up there really a lot. I did, I probably spent a total of, 5 or 6 weeks there over a span of each year up until, from when I was like maybe 6 years old until I was probably 16. So that decade, that'd be 50 some weeks. So I spent over a year there, man. So I really enjoyed that place. It's on a farm, and, learned a lot of things. He used to, this is, as I said, boondocks. I don't know, a lot of people may not be able to relate with this stuff, man, but he lives in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the closest paved road is, a mile and a half down. The closest paved road is a mile and a half down, and then you could drive 15 miles in the other way with no paved road at all. And he taught us how to drive. We drove his pickup truck, and then we drive my uncle's trucks around the farm fields and place him wherever he needs them when he's out harvesting or planting or something like that. So we used to ride 4-wheelers out there. Ooh, you could whip around with 4-wheelers, man. Farm field for days, dirt roads for days. And it was just beautiful, peaceful. It was peaceful to be there again. But I started with, goodbyes suck. Goodbyes are tough. And I started with that one because, that's the most recent goodbyes. But then it started to make me think about it. And how terrible I am at goodbyes, and how many people I pissed off at my goodbyes. And if you're not watching this, I put air quotes because I don't really say goodbye. I just disappear. I just disappear. I've had let's think about. I went to San Diego and had roommates. I came back and had roommates. 1 apartment, so my second apartment, and then I had a third apartment. So I've lived in 3 apartments with people, right, over a span of 4 years. When I left San Diego, dipped. Most people were leaving. We had 9 roommates. I think 4 of them left. I said goodbye to them. I was maybe the 5th one to leave. The other ones were all at the other end of the hall. I saw them. They had their door wide open, but they had their backs turned against me as they were collecting their things. I had my bag over me, a bag on one hand, and then my roller, and I just turned the corner, and I was gone. And they didn't even text me. One of them was one of my best friends, probably my best friend that I met in San Diego. He didn't text me. Why would he? He was probably like, fuck you, dude. And it just disappears. Not that I was just going, 30 miles away home. No, I was flying, 2,500 miles back to Minnesota. Get back to Minnesota, move into that place, get 3 roommates then again there. And, as far as they know, everything was going good for, 6-7 months. And all of a sudden, boom, I was gone. I literally lived at my friends, a few miles away. Literally lived at his place for like 2 weeks, and then me and that friend ended up getting a place together. That ended up not working out, right? Here's number 3. And as far as they know, it wasn't that bad. We kind of had a lot more face-to-face interaction and controversy than I did with the second place. But next thing you know, I just literally had my shit cleared and I was gone. I remember my one buddy came in and he was on the FaceTime with another friend of ours, and they were just like, and he just comes in my room and he goes, "Oh yeah, blank, Marshal's leaving us," and he just sends a picture, and we never talked about it yet. I'm like, "Oh, I'm not leaving. No, I'm not leaving. I'm just cleaning up and organizing." He's like, "Yeah, half your things are fucking gone." And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not leaving. And then I remember him said it 3 weeks later after I was gone for 3 weeks. He's just like, yeah, I fucking knew you were leaving, man. I can't believe you kept lying to me. But I don't know, man. It's just, I'm not good at goodbyes. And I think about, those are my 3 apartment experiences. I think about my grandfather, right? And then I think about another one, just a smaller one, right? Was I was hanging out with this buddy for like 2 days. He was staying at me at my parents' cabin. We were hanging out, and it was the final day that we were hanging out, and we went to the gym together. And I was like, oh, I'm probably just gonna be in here for like 35, 40 minutes, and I'm gonna go hard and then dip, and then probably head to work. He's like, okay. And I finished my workout. He was at the corner. He was distracted, looking up, not even noticing me. I grabbed my bag and I was gone. There's just something about it for me. And that's rude. I think that's rude. And I don't even text either. And that guy didn't text me either. He didn't go, hey, where'd you go, man? Or, hey, goodbye, man. Because why would you? Like, fuck you, dude. You just ran away. But I just don't like them, man. Like, going back to the emotional thing, right? Like, emotion's an emotional thing. Like, that is one aspect of things that I cannot, for some reason, separate my emotions. I cry almost every time I think about my cute little granny the wife of, the widow of now, my grandfather who just passed away a few weeks ago. She lived with him, right, for a long time until he progressed and needed to go into a more not active, but more intense of a care unit. And I would be so emotional because she was still lucid, and every time we leave her, she's basically there with your husband who doesn't say anything all day, she's lonely, she's blah, 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 she's not at her home no more, she's in this assisted living, all these XYZ, and that's her life, I shouldn't talk about it, but anyway, it made me feel emotional, it made me feel empathy for her, it's my granny, so that's probably a huge place where I get it from, and then she was the one that was on the farm too, and she's such an emotional person, so, like I said, I probably went to that farm 4 times a year. So, and then she probably came to the house Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, so I probably saw her every, every 8 times a year, so 8 times a year, every time we leave, emotional. So I probably got that rooted in me at a young age, that it's very emotional. I remember when I lived at these second and third apartments, which is only an hour away from my parents, I would come here every Sunday and watch football with my dad all Sunday. And then the first year of The Mandalorian, that's what we got into. I'd come over and we'd watch The Mandalorian together. I remember the Super Bowl when I lived in my third apartment with that friend. He came over with us and watched the Super Bowl here at the house. And we left at halftime because we had an hour and something drive home. And we were just getting tired and we wanted to go home. And my dad was like, oh, you're leaving? Because he was left here. My brother's gone. That's going to be emotional now. I'm so empathetic, man, because like that's the one thing I've always struggled with. I think I've talked about it a million times. I struggled hard with loneliness. Not no more. Like, dude, I can't explain it, man. I just can't. I don't know. Maybe it's just that, like I said, I live with my mom and dad and my granny and my sister, right? That's 4 people who love the shit out of me. So maybe I just know these things. And then I have 4 amazing good friends that live literally within an hour of me, and I get to see, at least 2 of them a month. So, and those guys are fucking killer. That's 8 people. I have 8 people within an hour of me that fucking love me. So maybe that is all I needed to have. And I just, even if I'm sitting in my bedroom like I am now alone, I don't ever feel lonely. If I haven't seen any of my friends in 20 fucking days. But I don't feel lonely like I used to. I don't feel lonely because I got my grandma here. I got my mom. I got my dad. Like, people love me, dude. My friends, I haven't seen them, but they still love me. They love me. So why, we're just on pause. We're going to see each other and then we're going to hit play again. But we're just on pause. We're not fucking hitting stop. We're just on pause. And so, I don't know. I know I kind of got off on track on that one. Damn, that was my first little futz. But, oh yeah, loneliness. Yes, I'm so empathetic. Yeah, and he's like, "Yo, you guys are leaving from the Super Bowl. You guys are leaving." And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I got in the car and with him, I was driving, and I was just like, I kind of put my hand on the left hand up and kind of looked to my side of the window and just held like this for a little bit, and I was just tearing up, man, and then just something stupid. My dad was probably chilling, man, but I don't know. I only get to see him once a week, and at times, and things are tough. Things are tough, and goodbyes. I just don't like them, man. I just don't like them, man. That's why I don't like calling people. Like, people love to call, and I love talking on the phone. I love talking to people, but it's a catch-22 because I don't like to hang up and be like, oh, yeah, oh, this has been great, man. Like, I love talking to you, man. Anyone I'm talking on the phone with is somebody I love. And it's just like, oh, I love talking with you, brother. This is great, man. I miss you so much. And then that all starts to, re-wake again. And then I'm just like, oh, when's the next time we're going to have this? It's not like every third day we talk. It's just like, so then I start thinking about that. It's like, oh my God, what if I don't hear from you for another 2 months or this and that or blah, blah, blah. And, not that I think they're going to die, but it's like, what if I don't hear from you for 2 months? Damn, that's a bummer. It all bums me out. But I've never been good with goodbyes. I know other people do too. I can't remember who I got this. Somebody was talking literally just about this and how they literally say they haven't said goodbye in years. They literally just disappeared. I'm like, oh my God, that is me. I got to talk about that. And then on the way to the gym today, I ain't good at goodbyes. I think that's Sam Smith's song. I heard that and I was like, yep, today's the day we're going to talk about ain't too good at goodbyes, man. Ain't too good at goodbyes. I don't know if there's anything else I want to really talk about on that scale, man. I hope everybody's doing well, man. I'm doing literally so good. I literally cannot explain it. It's that stupid, I was telling people, it's that stupid cliche, like I said, cliche all the time, but it's that stupid cliche. If you've ever seen this, I know I've seen this art a million times, but it's like a before and after picture of this drawn wolf, and it's the young wolf, he's weak, he's little, and then in the future he's a big strong wolf, and the first wolf has like 3 or 4 arrows in him, and he's like dead, down and bloody. Count it, count that motherfucker out, ding ding ding, dead ass wolf, right? And that second one, years later, he's a big, strong wolf, and now he has like 30 freaking arrows in him, and he's still hucking. And then the quote is like, things don't get easier, you get stronger. And I think that's literally why I'm doing so good. I said this to myself, and this is fucking honest. I literally just told you I haven't seen any of my friends in 20 days. If 3 years ago, as a freshman in college, and now I'm about to graduate, if I would have known, that's why that old question is like, would you rather know when you die or how you die? Neither, man. Because if I would have known that this is how my life would be right now, 3 years later, this is my life I was living, I would have probably offed myself freshman year. I would have been so fucking depressed. That's your life? No, I like to party, man. I like girls, dude. Yeah, man. Lifting all day, drinking all night, man. The stupid little shit. That's literally how I was. That's how I was junior to fucking junior of high school to sophomore year of college, man. Just that's all I cared about. And now that's nothing I care about. Maybe COVID helped me with that, just sped it up as my fucking catalyst. But no, literally, my life has hardly changed. The people around me have hardly changed. I've changed, right? If I'm not getting along with how the way life's going, I'm not seeing friends enough, friends aren't doing things that I want them to do. None of them have to change. None of the events have to change. They don't have to start texting me more. They don't have to start including me more. The world, I don't have to stop working less. Work has to be less now. No. That's all on me, brother. I got to figure that shit out. And I think, again, it's taken years. I was talking to somebody the other day. He was, confessing some shit to me. And I was like, brother, I'm like, just so you know, most human beings go through the exact crisis that you're going through right now. And I certainly did for fucking months and years. And I said, brother, you got to keep working, keep pounding it out because it's going to take a long time. And for you, it may take a decade. But know this, if you start now, you're on track more than 99% of people because honestly, there are so many people, millions of people that never, ever, ever figure it out. They're weak their entire life. They're insecure their entire life. They never figure it out. And that's what they sit on their fucking deathbed with. That's another thing I'm grateful for. But anyway, that's what they sit on their deathbed with the greatest regret was that they never stopped giving a fuck. They never became strong. They never became, secure in themselves. That, what I was saying was, what I was grateful for was, again, time with my grandmother, taking care of her, being her caretaker, spending those months, almost a year working in the assisted living, talking to, 100 different residents, you could really hear, and that's the most thing that I feared ever since was regret. It's subjective to what each individual regrets, but we are bound to regret. And, stupid little quote of how, I'd rather laugh. I'd rather, in 10 years, I'd rather laugh that I did some, oh my God, I can't believe I did that stupid shit, than go and sit, damn, I regret that I didn't do that. I wish I would have done that. Anyway, another thing that was said at the funeral, my uncle, this is my uncle, great uncle, actually. Haven't seen him in years. I do know him, but I haven't seen him in years. Probably haven't seen him in 6 or 7 years. And he comes in, and then hours later, when we're sitting down eating, he comes and talks to us finally, and we were having a great conversation. He's like, yeah, I actually thought you were your brother at first. And then, your auntie said, no, that's Marshal. And he's like, oh, okay, Omar's there. Okay, he's a little more clean shaven, I'm like, yeah, I'm the homeless guy here. And he's whatever, and he's like, yeah, let me get this. This is what I thought. You're the one who's more comfortable in his skin. And I go, ding, ding, abso-fucking-lutely. And it was one who wasn't for so long. But again, no one has changed. People, you think I call myself homeless? No, I was at a fucking bar. That I should not have went to because it's in my hometown, and I just don't feel welcome there. It's nothing against the town. It just for me, I don't know. Maybe I put a bad image and taste in people's mouth. But I got called a homeless one by this. I got called by a homeless guy by this fucking a young sister, a friend of mine's. She's probably fucking 12 years old. I'm like, what the fuck you doing in this goddamn bar anyway, bitch? I was so livid. But again, like, I'm comfortable in my own skin, but like that stuff pisses me off. But going back to that, they don't need to change. Those comments are never, ever, 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 ever going to stop. Your parents may have said this to you, right? When you dealt with a bully or you dealt with a horrible teammate or a horrible classmate, they said, well, hey man, you better get used to it because it's not going to change. Just because you get in a professional setting, people are people. They're children forever, in my opinion. There's no such thing as an adult, just older children. And most people will live through their insecurities forever, and they'll make fun of you. They'll say whatever they want to you, right? They don't have to change. You do. Arrows are going to keep coming. You got to get stronger. And I trying to figure that out. And going back to it, I want to get to this, but I still care what people think, like, gravely. Like, it still fucks with me. Not for too long, but it'll fuck with me for an hour or so. Like, one person's comment who I don't even know, Jimmy, Billy, Jom, right? Who I've never met. And I just walk into the bar and they say something like that. Like, what's up, homeless douche, right? That'll fuck with me for a whole hour. That's a long time and a lot of energy to lose on someone, right? I want it to be in and out of my head, and I will get there, right? Again, I'm optimistic about the fight. Stop crying about the fight, yo, bitches. Y'all got to man up, toughen up, and it's going to be a hell of a fight to get your mind and thoughts better. Anyway, no one needs to change, and the nature exists. How can I maneuver around it? So what I do is I'm not going to those bars. I'm not going to those bars where people from my hometown were, and I know there's going to be people there that make fun of me, right? So when friends invited me, I haven't seen friends in 20 days, right? But I was invited this last week here, but there were 2 people, right? I like to kind of, I'm one of those douchebag people who are like, well, who's all going? And because I must have put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. I think that's why I started the whole podcast, right? I think I talked about it years ago. I don't remember this shit no more. But I must have put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths in the town I went to in high school because they're just rude to me. I got so many buddies that I hang out with all the time. They're like, what do you mean? You don't like this bar? You don't like this? Oh, you don't like that person? What do you mean? They're so nice. I'm like, to you? I'm like, they're mean to me, my guy. And like, maybe because they think I'm tough, that'll fucking, well, I don't care what you say to me. I don't know. Maybe they just hate me that bad. I know it's because they're insecure and they just want to say something. But I left a bad taste in some people's mouths. So that nature is going to exist. Those arrows are going to be shot at me. I'm not good at dodging. They're going to fucking hit me and they're going to hurt. So I just have to go to places where there's less arrows being thrown. Take fucking responsibility for your mind, for your mental sanity, your mental fitness. I won't say your mental illness, right? Physical fitness, mental fitness. If you have a bad fucking knee, you're probably not looking at them like, oh yeah, it's my girlfriend's sister's fault. Yep, she fucked my knee up, man. Yep, she just stresses me out so much. She's just on my knee, man. No, you'd be like, oh, I probably sat wrong, or I did something stupid, or what can I do? I got to fix this shit. I got to stretch it out, XYZ. Think the same thing with your mental fitness, man. You're responsible for it. You could literally walk down the hallway with 100 fucking people, and 100 people, 100 of the 100 could say, you suck ass. You're an ass sucker. sucking ass, right? That's what they could say to you, and everyone in that hallway could hate you. If you feel bad or sad, that's none of their fault. In my opinion, that's none of their fault. Man up, toughen up. We shouldn't say man up. There's, potato head. No more Mr. Potato Head. No, toughen the fuck up. Girl, my sister's tough. I've seen tough girls. Girls are tough. I've seen weak men too. Oh my God. Crybaby men. Right? Toughen the fuck up. Take responsibility. All right? So if you suck with goodbyes, dip. Right? I'm going to take responsibility and dip. That's not taking responsibility. What I should do is be honest. But hey, man, I hate goodbyes. I like being around you, man. I had a really good time. And I hope we don't take as long to hang out as we did last time. And if I said something like that, they go, oh, yeah, man. That'd probably make them feel good that I care that much about them. They probably, oh, man. Shit, bro, yeah, let's definitely make sure it's not that long next time, man. I love hanging out with you, bro. XYZ, XYZ. Goodbyes suck, man. R.I.P. Papa Kurt. And no, I don't really have much else to say. I hope everybody's doing well. If you're not doing well, look closer to the people around you who could probably help you with that. It's not that guy on the internet that you have a crush for that's going to make you happy, man. Or their love's going to make you happy, man. It's your moms. It's your dads. It's your best friends who is your family. Yeah. Yeah. That's really it. Thanks for tuning in to the Marshal Kramer Show. The most, serious, silly show. I think we had a little bit of seriousness on this note. As you can see, the podcast keeps going because I'm going to play a podcast that I think I did 2 months ago. But there's a little good conversation here for the next 35, 38-ish minutes that I did at the cabin for the Cabin Cast. It's kind of a part 2 of the first ever Cabin Cast, kind of a conversation we did later in the evening. Kind of talked about some serious stuff, but then we kind of got jokey and silly at the end and talked about things that make us happy. Talked about sex and shit. Dude, I've been seeing people. I'll talk about it, man, because I don't see numbers that much, but I've been seeing my subscribers go down, and that's okay because I've changed this channel 4 or 5 times. So most of those subscribers that happen, they probably subscribe for my fitness channel, or they subscribe for my Audio Smiles channel, and now it's all this, right? I'm straightforward. This is the conversations I have. I say fuck a lot. I swear a lot. We talk about sex. If you don't talk about sex, you're lying. You just don't, you just don't put it on the internet, which you shouldn't, post a story about it or an Instagram post, but having these fun conversations that, make me laugh and keep me entertained. And that's the whole point of my new show, right? No more informative shit. And definitely not persuasion. Just trying to entertain, make people laugh, and pass your work day, workout, homework day, whatever it is, a little bit faster. So, until next time, take care, my friends. And like always, scoot, boot, toodaloo.
No offense.
No, I was saying none taken. I was just saying.
I just fucking work
take
here.
offense, I'm gonna be pissed at you, but I'm talking big bank. I'm talking
Wells Fargo.
No, bigger than that.
U.S. Bank.
The fucking Swedish.
The United States Treasury Department.
Swiss bank.
Go away.
I want to rob a Swiss or a French bank. Or the
You
Louvre.
are not getting out of there
offshore
alive.
I want to rob the Louvre.
How are you getting back to the U.S.?
I want to rob
Good
the
question
fucking
from
Louvre.
Evan. How do you get back to the United
With the
States?
money.
You're a
With the money to
convicted
lose.
felon in Sweden. How do you get back to the United States?
Yo, their
I don't
jails,
give a-
their
I'm
jails
dying.
are like.
Their jails are nice.
They're nice.
Their jails are like
They have a good.
elementary
You know
schools.
what they're like? What's the name for the return rate for reincarnation?
Oh, a lot.
I've read.
No, in Sweden. No, in Sweden it's
Oh,
low.
it's probably really low.
It's so low because of the fact that they're so nice and they
They
literally
treat their prisoners
they
really
actually
fucking
help
well.
them get back into society.
Yeah.
Unlike here, where they're like, "You're done. Fuck
Maybe
you."
That's what I've seen there because I've recently got on prison TikTok and it's.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice,
It's
but it's
nice.
also fucked up as well.
Yeah,
it is
it's got
so
both
fucked-
sides.
Like I was
There is
talking.
some
They
sweet
do
hearts
like
out there.
rehabilitation instead of incarceration.
Yes. You know what?
Gotta
they're-
rehabilitate those prisoners.
Where are they starting? Where they're starting to send out, like how people are saying, like send psychologists or something with the police officers.
Oh,
Yes.
I don't know.
Where
but
are they starting? They're here. It's here in
I
America.
can't remember, but
I think it's Oregon.
it's probably Oregon because they also decriminalized
Drugs.
Drugs.
Yeah.
All drugs.
because they're not worried
I
about
think it
fucking catching poor people doing
They wanna help
things.
them.
They
Yeah.
want to help them and bring them and be a better person of
Yeah.
society.
And that makes
It's
sense.
literally been known if you bring I'm just gonna say psychologists, but there's an actual name for them. People with the
field intelligence.
Yeah, instead of forensics instead of a police officer, they literally
help talk them down.
Help talk them down, and it's like
de-escalate the situation.
Yeah.
Way better because they're actually trained in that kind of shit.
Personal opinion. I think that it's bullshit that cops in America can go to a program for 2 years and not even 2 years and be a cop. I have to go to school
6 months.
4 years.
6 months.
I have to go to school 4 years to educate your young. But a cop who's supposed to be the fucking like justice system in America can get away with going to school for less than a year.
You know who has a bigger impact though? You.
Absolutely. But do I get paid like that? Absolutely fucking not.
Which doesn't make sense.
I don't even get the glorified babysitter pay.
No, you don't get paid as much. You don't get recognized as much. And people just don't give a fuck about it.
Okay, even with COVID, obviously kids still have to go to fucking school, but were teachers included in that essential people pay? No, they fucking weren't. Nope. And we're not even qualified. Technically we're classified as the 1A for vaccinations, but we're not 1A1, 1A2, 1A3. We're other.
You're other.
We're
other. You are other.
I have not gotten vaccinated, and I substitute right now. I see kids every fucking day. Do kids keep their masks on in school? No.
Because what you do, preschool or kindergarten?
Well, I work at a preschool in St. Cloud, but when I'm back in Sioux Falls, I substitute in the K through 12 district.
Okay. What do fucking kids do? Little kids when
they spread their fucking germs. They touch their nose.
You want to trade your Iron Man? You want to trade your Iron Man mask for my Superman mask?
Literally, that's what they do. And they pick their nose, and you call them out. You're like, you need to go get hand sanitizer. They're like, no, I don't want to.
You know what makes me genuinely upset? I work with kids with autism. I work with kids less than 2, 1.5 to 20 kids with adults too with autism.
Gotta take a drink.
And my 4-year-olds can keep their mask on. My 4-year-olds with disabilities
can keep their fucking mask on.
It's
all about what happens at home.
For all 8.5 hours that they are at therapy. But kids at school cannot keep their mask on for more than 10 minutes.
It's because they're parents.
It's parents.
There is no such thing as inherited bigotry.
Yep.
I'm gonna call it bigotry.
No,
because
I get what you mean.
It's more than just masks. It's like racism. It's all of the isms, classism, racism, ableism, all of that shit. That's learned from your parents. Kids don't understand that. I have a 3rd grade kid who we watched the inauguration. When it happened, we watched the inauguration. And I had this 3rd grade kid, and he was like, this is Trump's America. And I was like, how the fuck do you know what that means?
He doesn't know what those words even mean.
You literally just hear your parents saying that Biden is not good, and I'm not.
He hears the word Democrat, and that flips it. He's like, Democrat bad.
That's
Democrat
all
bad.
I'm saying.
Democrat
that's why
bad.
parties should not be a thing. I don't think
that
in America, I think that parties should just not be a thing. You can believe what you believe.
Yeah,
because I'm going to say it right now. I have a lot of Republican views when it comes to the way that the government assists America. I have a lot of Republican views, but I also have a ton of liberal views. But right now, the Liberal Party is what best agrees with the majority of views that I have.
Your majority.
Because Trump, some of his policies, I'm not going to lie, he did some kind of good things for America.
He did.
He did some good things for America.
And Biden, I will not lie.
But he focused mainly on economy.
Biden has reversed some of his things that have actually been detrimental, like the insulin thing. Did you hear about that?
I did not.
Please
inform me.
I'm more of a liberal speaker, I would say.
Mm-hmm. I would also say I'm more liberal than Republican.
Biden has actually reversed something for insulin amendment or a law, whatever the fuck.
To make it cheaper or more expensive?
So Trump actually made it cheaper. It was $50.
Insulin is
just still way too much.
Which is a lot, yes. But Biden actually reversed a law, which was a broad thing, a bunch of different shit.
I'm not saying Biden's a good guy.
No, he's not.
By no means was Biden the best thing for this country. But Trump was even worse.
It did go back up
to $300 some dollars.
Politics.
Because of Biden.
Okay, here's what I'm saying.
It was a broad thing. It was a broad thing.
There are so many, especially when you're talking about the older generation. When you're talking about When you're talking,
we're all talking.
Okay.
Hold on. Time out. Can we time out
Pause.
for a second?
We're gonna take a quick.
We're gonna take a
We
quick
have
pause.
time out.
two men having their own Okay.
Just shut the door.
Just shut the door, Jordan.
Shut the door, Jordan. Shut the
All
door.
right. So
Switching from politics.
yeah.
Wait.
Switching to
Okay. There's
something
one
else.
thing that I do want to say.
Okay.
The generational gap between us and our parents. Our parents and people older than them are so concerned about which party is in control of the government.
Yeah.
When I want to say that a majority of my friends and a majority of the people that are my age are way more concerned about just like equity for everybody.
Yeah.
Like we want fair opportunities for everybody. And that's why the Black Lives Matter movement was so big for our generation, because it's like the first opportunity that we had to get involved
Right.
and say like, this is not okay. We don't give a fuck
I'm
about
actually, like-
who's in charge. We just
Right.
care about what their morals are.
I actually have no idea, like what was the whole, like, what were they trying to get done with the Black Lives Matter movement?
I think a lot of it was just triggered by the police brutality
Right.
with George Floyd. I mean,
Yeah.
like, you can't say that George Floyd's death didn't create this huge thing
No,
in
it did.
America.
Definitely
And
did.
then Breonna Taylor and
I
Elijah
think
McClain,
Breonna,
like,
I
all
think
of
Breonna
those.
Taylor and all those other incidents were a lot more profound.
They
than George
were
Floyd.
insane. But, like, I think that our generation is starting to see really how institutionalized racism is. Like,
Yeah.
it is so deep in our government. Literally, America was founded on racism.
Oh yeah, on racism.
Like 120%. And so to see like how, even though like technically like slavery is illegal, but you look at jails and you see that
Jails
a
need to
majority,
be-
a majority of people that are in jail are people of color.
Exactly.
And the reincarceration rate is so high because they catch them on that tiny little shit.
Just a little thing, yeah.
Like,
It's usually like drug.
Okay,
possession,
And
Yes.
like,
reincarceration
minor drug
rates
possession.
are extremely
they're so
high for people of color.
So, okay, so like, for example, South Dakota. I'm from South Dakota. South Dakota is a Republican state. I don't think in the history of South Dakota they have ever voted blue, ever. And it got passed on the ballot. The people voted, and they voted for legal, recreational, and medicinal marijuana. And then 2 state troopers were like, this isn't what we need for our state. This isn't what we want. They took it to the courts on a technicality of it not being an amendment because of the wording or some shit like that. And then our governor, Kristi Noem, who is very open about not wanting recreational or medicinal marijuana, is saying that their legal fees are going to be paid for by the state of South Dakota, which is coming out of my taxpayer money.
Right.
And given that this amendment was voted on by the people, and they said, yes, we want medicinal and we want recreational. So now a majority of those people voted, yes, I want this, and their taxpayer money is going to pay for these people who are saying we don't want it. And they're totally missing, like, South Dakota is a lot of agriculture. That's
Right.
going to bring so much tourism and so much money into South Dakota.
Just
Because
like
you
it-
know,
yeah,
like
just like at Colorado.
Right, just
so
like
many people are
Colorado.
going to be coming into South Dakota just because weed is legal.
Exactly.
And they're
Like
saying,
fucking,
no, we don't want
Marsh-
that.
Marshal himself went to Michigan.
Like,
Just
Yeah,
all I'm
Michigan.
saying-
I forgot about Michigan.
Yeah.
yes. Like, all of this is just they just want to say
And
that
why-
their party is in
I've-
control.
I've never even understood why it's illegal to begin with, and alcohol is legal.
Well, and
It-
yes.
Because-
yes, me and my brother were talking about the other day,
Alcohol
too.
is way worse than marijuana.
Way worse.
Way worse for your health.
Like,
way worse for
marijuana
your-
can help with so many different things. Like,
Exactly.
me personally, I have a lot of anxiety and I have PTSD.
Yeah.
And I smoke all the time to help me just calm down, help me go to sleep. I have insomnia.
It's like the most natural way you
And
can do it
it's
too, without taking
literally
actual drugs.
without I don't understand how people can like medicate themselves with all of these like medicines that are formed by a pharmacy when
Right.
you can just get weed.
Right. It's okay to take all
It's-
these synthetic drugs,
Yes,
but
but
then this natural
it's-
plant is seen as such a bad fucking thing.
I can understand, like, obviously we don't want heroin on the
Right.
streets. We
We
don't
don't
want
want
that
that.
kind of shit.
It's
And they
because
keep
people
saying
view
that.
it as a gateway drug.
Yes, and I can totally
Right,
understand why they
alcohol
would.
must be a
But
gateway
I
Yeah,
have
drug.
because
yeah.
it's because alcohol has always been seen as a norm
Right.
in society.
So it's because we've described it as a normal thing.
It has been a thing forever.
forever. Yeah.
Weed, yeah,
exactly.
As far as you go back in history, alcohol has been a
marijuana
normal
is
thing.
more
Marijuana
new.
is
newer.
But when you think about it, how many fucking poets and artists do you know that were on drugs? Harder than weed. All of them.
All of them.
All of them were on something harder than weed. And I mean, I can say as I am a self-proclaimed stoner, I would say that I smoke a decent amount. And I have never once wanted to try anything harder.
No, me neither. I mean, I don't smoke like a lot.
And I know a lot of
I've
people
never
who are
thought
like,
about it.
I like smoking. I might have tried like shrooms or LSD, tried some psychedelics, which I also have a belief that psychedelics will open your fucking mind to the universe.
And they're not
I'm not
bad
saying
either.
that they should be taken a lot, but they will help with a lot of mental health. I personally think that. Anyway, I know so many people that smoke on the daily who don't want to take psychedelics. And I feel like psychedelics might be the next step from weed.
Oh, what's up, Jordan?
Oh, the boys are back. The boys
I
are
knew
back.
someone was
The
gonna
boys
say
are back. High
All
School
right,
Musical.
this is the Morgan, Rachel, and Evan podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my hair is stuck in my water bottle.
Marshall has been
My
kicked
hair
from
is
his
stuck
own
in my water
podcast.
bottle.
Me,
Alright.
Morgan, and Evan will be taking over.
Nice. Solid.
Ouch.
All right, guys. It looks like it's 10:50, and you know what that means? It is the Morgan, Rachel, and Evan hour on the Marshal podcast.
You're in our way.
Marshall has just dropped the tripod.
I have now drank enough alcohol to make my voice lower, so it sounds good. I feel like.
So Ev is a fuck boy.
I am now
I know we
doing
said he's a
ASMR.
great human being, but
It is
Evan
ASMR
is a
shit
fuck
now.
boy. We love him, but by God.
By golly.
I would just
We
like
drink
to let you all
truly
know.
seltzer.
Tate is taking a break because he's a pussy.
ASMR break.
Big.
Hello. How are you all today?
Can I be a regular on your podcast? I like this.
Rachel loves this.
I love this. This is my element.
If there's one, I love him. But if there's one negative of
So many people.
XYZ being back, there's one positive of XYZ being back, right? So I'm very
The positive is me. I'm the positive.
Rachel is the positive.
I'm very glad that we're able to sit here and do this situation and have a good time. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know, but I'm Marshal Kramer, and I'm your host of the show.
It's his show.
It's
He's
my
not
show.
even here. He's not even here right now.
Not anymore.
And we're literally
over.
This is the coolest thing. Says now I have podcasts till the end of like fucking March, because like
So much content.
the dialogues are only 40 minutes. I start my podcast with like a 20-minute dialogue, and then I add a monologue, and then I add 40 minutes of dialogue, and now I have literally 3.5 hours
Marsh,
of
I
dialogue.
have a question.
Yeah.
We're still
I
going.
saw a podcast where you did the like script reading.
Which one?
There.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super bad.
I want to do that.
I don't have any.
What the
I
fuck?
I thought about it. Damn, and then we're not gonna do the other one. I said the other one we do. You guys, I don't know. Hey,
I can't freestyle for shit,
Yeah, you
so
knew
we're
it.
not.
You knew it. I said the other one I do is
Wait. I
We
did
got
have a
freestyle
rap.
on this motherfucker.
My fifth grade year of
God, fucking
obviously
freestyle.
elementary. I ran for student council. This is the rap. Are you guys ready?
I'm gonna rap. You guys know I'm gonna rap tonight. I'm gonna rap.
We gotta
My
be
name
right.
I gotta
is
have a conversation
Rachel.
back in the room, but I'll be right back.
I'll
All right.
restart.
See you later.
Okay, ready? My name is Rachel, and I like school. Vote for me, cause student council is cool. I like to make up projects for you and me to do. So if you like the fun ones, I need to vote from you. Yeah. I did win. I was student council president. I was the president. Did you guys hear that? I was the president.
Eminem punching air right now. That was fucking heat.
Fucking bars.
That's a hot cock.
That's
Anyway.
Bro, I just saw that meme come back. I can't remember who fucking did it. It's
all over
What's your guys' favorite TikTok trend right now?
The one where they're dancing in a circle. They're like,
Yeah.
they're like,
Oh, me and my insecure ass. Me and my boyfriend with hella confidence in
Yeah,
a
I like
relationship.
or the fucking.
him one today.
No, the what's the other one? The other one where they're like, it's really stupid. They're like recording their food and they open it. And
This
they're
shit busted.
No, they're like, I'm on fuck. They like open the food, record it. And it's just some scrumdiddly food, and they're just like, I'm on fuck.
I'm all bust.
Dear Lord have mercy, he about to buzz.
Nobody
El hijo de pinche madre.
Ev, what's your favorite TikTok trend right now? Cause
I don't even know. I watch so much different shit on TikTok. I'm trying to see.
I think my all-time favorite.
Cause I got you. Yeah.
Yes, we gon' fight. Believe
Tell 'em how
we
you
gon'
feel.
fight.
Tell him how you feel. Tell him how you feel, Marsh. Tell him how you feel. Freestyle. Get a freestyle.
I think my all-time favorite trend right now is awa awa.
Or how about the surfer guy with his young daughter?
That's it. I love that guy. I love that guy.
Lil Mingo. Mingo gang.
Shout out Mingo gang. Because that shit is gas.
Yo, shout out.
If any of you have babies that you don't want, I will take them. I want a baby so
What
bad.
is that podcast with this like skater-looking dude and
Yeah,
his little
Mingo gang.
daughter?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Sailor and
That's
Seth.
what we're talking about.
Mingo
Sailor.
gang.
Sailor.
Yes, Sailor. Yes.
Mingo gang.
Mingo gang.
Mingo
gang.
gang.
Take it on Tyga. Watch out.
Lil Mingo.
Shout out Lil Mingo. Shout out Sailor.
Lil Mingo. Shout out
Sailor for being the most adorable daughter I've ever seen in my entire life. She's adorable. You
so
know
cute.
who's the most adorable son? That kid with the duck suit. The kid with the duck suit.
Oh, Franklin.
Baby Franklin.
Baby Franklin.
Marshall, have you seen Franklin?
I will show you Franklin
Baby
right
Franklin.
now. Hold up.
He's
I'm
this
mostly
kid who
on
wears-
food
it's
TikTok.
his
Wait,
little boy.
I have a question for the boys. Actually, I have a question.
Oh, you want it?
Do you guys want a son or a daughter first?
Ooh.
Son.
Daughter.
Son,
I want
probably.
twins and I want a son and a daughter.
I want a daughter.
Obviously, you'd want your ID.
No, yeah, I want a daughter. I want a little fucking princess.
You want a daughter first?
I want a little fucking princess.
I want a daughter.
That would be hell.
She would be my fucking princess.
I want a boy first because then like they can have that protective older brother.
That's
Yes.
that's what I
No,
want.
you know what? You got a point there.
The protective
Son
older
then
brother.
daughter.
Oh,
Son then
so-
daughter.
Son then daughter.
So
You're
you
right.
assume normal gender roles.
Franklin.
Okay.
You assume normal gender roles as the male's the protector.
I will, yeah.
Maybe the
okay,
female
I am the
don't-
oldest, and I am so protective of my brothers.
I
As
do
soon
know
as they
Franklin.
tell me, like, oh, I'm talking to a girl, I'm like, who's this fucking girl? What's she
So
like?
it's
What
not
does
it's
she look like?
position, not gender.
But I think it's so cute to have, like, a son that's like,
Sorry.
you talking to my sister?
Sorry.
Who
I
are
got a
you?
really dumb.
But don't you know girls are just as tough as guys?
They are. They are.
That's not, okay, that is true, but,
most
like,
girls,
21st century
rage.
rage.
They could probably beat me up. You know?
No, dude, I had a girl in my neighborhood who was way too fucking
No, they
strong,
probably beat me up.
and she could fuck me up. I was a cry. No, I was a
said,
cry.
please don't
I was a
tell me-
literal
please
fucking
don't
cry.
tell
She could fuck me up. She was literally jacked.
fucking my shit.
She was like one of those
Yeah, that
girls.
girl
She was a rowdy girl.
I don't remember her name. I remember her name.
No!
Carly. Her name is. She acted so fucking tough. Her name was. She acted so tough. I don't know your last name. I'm not gonna say it, but she
Was
acted
she-
so fucking tough.
Brown hair.
Maybe, but she was young.
What is her last name? I'm not
She
sure.
No.
acted so tough.
Did she have like the thing on her? The mole on her face?
Maybe.
No, her name's not. That's,
I know
I know who you're talking about, but that's not.
Big fat fucking right there.
You're so
Guacamole.
Mole. I just want to chop it up and make guacamole.
Ew.
Chop it up.
Have you seen Austin Powers?
No.
Okay.
Wow.
Austin Powers reference, ladies and gentlemen.
Tato always makes,
Us boomers.
not makes fun of me. He
Us
always shits
boomers.
on me because I haven't seen all of his like favorite
Hey,
shows.
baby girl, how's that
What is
wine?
your favorite show?
My favorite
far
show
are
of
you?
all time? I think you know it,
Is
Ev.
it The Office?
Nope.
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
And then you look away.
That and he
I
always
saw it.
he gave me shit about never seeing
Finish
the Charlie
it.
Brown movies. I finally watched them. Everyone hates Charlie Brown. What's up with that?
I'm not saying they're good.
We're in
I'm just
fucking
saying
age
if you
right now.
you have to watch Charlie Brown.
and
People-
Napoleon
people
Dynamite. He
don't-
gives me shit about never seeing
People
that
don't
either.
hate Charlie Brown. They
They
just
do.
don't care for
They
it.
don't like him.
It's a
They're
sad
mean
story.
to him.
He's the shadow.
Oh,
of the
you're
group.
talking
No
about
one
how the
knows
other
it's
characters
Charlie.
treat Charlie
The
Brown.
other characters are really fucking mean to Charlie
Because that's
Brown.
how kids are. Do you remember kids when you were a kid? They were fucking
They're
assholes.
fucking mean.
They were mean.
I don't even remember my
Is that
childhood.
not an accurate
I have
representation?
never
Is
treated
that not an
anybody the way
accurate-
that they treat Charlie Brown.
You gotta
Have
remember,
you
Rach.
seen kids being treated that
That
way?
was made in like
No, never that bad.
1956.
Then what?
I-
Hey. Then what was your childhood insecurity?
Ooh. Okay, I got it. I have this mole on my forehead.
I can't see. Oh, yeah, I see it.
And when I was little, it was a lot darker. Like, it was really dark. And
I'm sorry about the guacamole joke then.
Kids
I feel
would come
really
up to
bad.
me, and they'd be like, you need to get that removed. Can I pop that? That's fucking disgusting. And I was like, I was born with it. Please leave me alone. Also, I was chubby. Like,
I was a
I
chubby
kind
kid
of
too.
still am a little
still
chubby,
chubby.
but like,
Look at this.
elementary school me was
They are. They actually
chubby,
have lovely
and I had like some of the
Morgan
same
never
shirts
grabs on it.
and the same clothes as like the popular girls in my class. And they would make fun of me when I wore it because I didn't look the same.
Rachel,
I was so insecure about it.
I feel you. I had warts. I had 5 warts on my hand growing up for like the first 13, 14 years of my life. And I would be made fun of
Remember when I said,
every
like,
single
the fattest
day.
cock and everyone just hated it?
Evan had the girthiest.
Everyone made fun of him in the locker room.
Evan had the girthiest. We call him
Like, Evan,
we call
your
him the
cock is
girthquake.
so huge. What the fuck?
I've literally had gym class. We shower together. I was actually worried for his well-being because his cock was so girthy.
So fat.
This was
worried
Evan.
about
so
him.
fat.
This was Evan. This was Evan. from
Biblical.
2nd grade to like 9th grade. This guy would play any sport, whatever.
Big Dick Tony. That's what we called him.
He'd be playing literally any sport. Let's say basketball. That's what I usually think of, right? He's playing basketball. He's going. He's dribbling. Somebody gives him a little bit of a shoulder. He's like, ah! Ah! And then he falls on the ground, and he's like, literally, you think he's dead. You think he died. He's like this. Ah! 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 Listen. Ah! 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 And we're like, Evan,
Wait.
you okay? Evan, hey, listen, Evan, you okay? Ah! Ah! Okay, I'm fine.
That's how you get fouls.
He would flop like a motherfucker, and then we're like, "You good?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm good."
Dude,
and then he's
when
like, "I'm
he-
gonna play. I'm gonna keep playing."
Sorry. For soccer, when he played soccer with us, he was the only kid who would slide tackle.
He
And
literally slide tackled literally every fucking player on the other team.
yeah,
would
it's
slide
not.
tackle him.
It's against the rules. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And
He did not give a fuck, and he
He
didn't
would-
get carded once.
he would try to do like these moves, but he would fail sometimes, so he would just throw his body into that.
No, like this motherfucker was probably the slipperiest motherfucker I've ever met.
He's a human slip and slide. He's the sweatiest motherfucker.
He's the sweatiest dude you've ever met. You think I'm sweaty? I think I'm sweaty.
I have a question about soccer.
Go ahead.
Okay, so can you slide into people's
No.
feet? Like, can you like?
No.
You have to hit the ball before you hit the other person. If you
Ball
go
first. Ball has to be first contact.
Hear that, ladies? Balls first.
Pretend to fall and like hit somebody?
no,
They will know. The refs know. The refs
Yes.
know. They're good.
I'm really good at faking it. I'm really good at faking tripping.
No, they'll know. Trust me, they'll know.
Wait, question. Did you guys, like in middle school gym, did you guys shower in the locker room?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a genuine question.
I
Have you
did
guys
not.
showered?
I've seen Evan's dick. Evan's seen my dick.
Wait, did you guys measure your dicks when you were younger?
We did not.
get that in.
I did not shower publicly.
Bullshit.
This wasn't a side-by-side comparison YouTube.
immature.
You just sword fight really quick.
All right. Let's imagine showers. Shower here. Shower here.
We're pretending to shower.
Shower right next to each other. Evan would turn around. I'd be like, that.
Nice cock.
That was it. That was it. That was it. We'd be like a quick little glance. That's how you do. Glance.
I never
Not even-
saw
not even-
any
actually-
single girl.
Actually, not even turning the head.
Look, you're a liar.
No.
I have never
Don't
seen
tell
it.
me you haven't looked.
Not a single girl in our locker rooms would use the showers.
Nobody. Yeah.
We would change in front of each other. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fucking girl. We all have titties. I've seen all of my girlfriends, I've seen their titties.
Yeah.
And they've all seen mine. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in middle school, you're like, oh my God.
You're
gonna look at my
I
boobies.
literally did not know that all girls had titties. That's something new I learned today.
Excuse me?
Today?
I had no idea that all
Girls,
girls.
do you know the difference between a man and a woman, Marshall?
No, here's what I want to say. You know something that's weird? Yo, have you soccer players?
There's still peepees, but they're
Hey,
outside.
have you soccer players? Because
Inside
us football players did. Did you have the guys? You want to talk about showering in the bathroom? Did you have the guys that were insecure about their penis that got chub before they went in the shower?
Like,
God,
We had
what?
two.
you're talking like a happy?
We had two guys that had halfies.
I did.
Because they didn't want guys to know the normal size. Two guys
No
that have
shot. No fucking shot.
100%.
I've never
I didn't.
seen that.
Yeah, I can see that.
You're joking.
I'm not even surprised.
Who?
You're
I think I heard the first. I think I heard the first name.
Dude,
I 100% believe
He
you.
was one.
How do you know?
For soccer,
How do we know?
I didn't-
Because
I was
you
never
saw
coming to the
it.
shower.
First off, you would see him really come in.
I was fine
change,
soft,
get
but
all
I
this
didn't want to
stuff up.
shower
He would
in
get
front
all
of
this
this
stuff
guy.
out
I was
every
never.
day.
He would just
shit.
shower at home.
He had his shit.
It's
I lived a happy day.
Here's my
Every
thing
time.
with
And two, we had friends right, who knew him well, and they're like, "That's not his size." When he's in the shower, he's chopped.
Here's my thing with dick size. Guys care so much about the size of their dick, and like
I think when they're young.
well,
I think
I don't think
give
guys
a
care
fuck.
when they're
I
older,
want this-
I don't
but
give a
when
fuck.
they're
I
younger,
will literally
in
retire.
high school,
I'll whip it
guys
out.
care
I'll whip it
so
out.
much about the reputation of their dick. And I mean, I'm not going to say that having a big dick doesn't mean that it
Because
feels
we're
better
told
than,
that
a
it
smaller
should matter
dick.
by
But-
the older.
You can tell the difference in a big dick
yeah.
and a small dick. But if you fucking know what you're doing with your dick, none of that fucking
Tate
matters.
just has a magical cock.
I
it
will
doesn't-
not
Here's
argue.
the thing about large
matter.
penises. If they don't know what they're doing, it can hurt.
It hurts.
It can hurt.
It hurts.
It can hurt.
Yes.
So
It's painful.
you gotta know the motion of the ocean, no matter
You
the
really
size.
do.
It's not about this. Yeah, it's not about the size of the ship, Marsh. It's about the motion of the
I'm
ocean.
gonna say a certain person.
Jeff
with
Foxworthy.
a mega
I need that because
A mega dong.
megadong.
I need that.
No,
Look,
can I
have
say
fun.
a certain person with a megadong? He was on our team. You know who it is.
Oh, you can say their name. If they got a fat cock, you can say their name.
We do
They
condone
wanna
fat
know
cocks.
That they got a fat fucking cock.
Kadri.
Oh, you got a fat cock?
He's got a megadong.
Congratulations to you, my sir.
Kadri,
You have been named
Kadri,
the
you'll
king.
never listen to this, but you are a really good person.
He is an amazing person.
I always,
He's the best person.
I always have really, really liked you. I've always really liked
I've
you.
looked
and
up-
so has
I've actually
everybody
looked
else.
I
up
feel
to
So
like
has everybody
to
else.
a
So have
lot-
I.
You're a good dude.
Sometimes having a big cock can suck because
Yes.
as a female,
Not for Kadri though.
Can I
he's a
tell you? I'll tell you a
motherfucker.
story that he told me. I will tell you a story that Kadri told me about his girlfriend.
Of course, Kadri's got a big fucking cock.
No, here's the
Fuck
problem.
you,
Here's the
Kadri.
problem. Here's
You
the
got
problem.
perfect teeth, perfect personality,
Perfect face.
perfect face, now
Perfect
big fuck-
body. He's
Fuck you,
jacked.
Kadri.
you're a 10 out of 10
Perfect
human
Lebanese
being.
skin.
He is.
You know.
He is a genuinely perfect human being inside and out. But he told me about one situation he had with a problem with his fat fucking cock.
The monster cock, yeah.
It is. It's like.
Hate it when that happens.
He said he was like pushing like 7.
Wow.
I believe it. I've never seen it, but I believe it.
He told me, and I believe. Like I've never seen it, but I believe it. He told me in all seriousness, I believe it.
Hey, here's the thing too. Giving head to a guy with a big dick is hard.
Yeah.
That shit sucks. It bruises the back of your
Ask
throat.
Morgan.
Let me ask you this.
Morgan.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Do your own horn. I don't
saw her 2 seconds ago.
Race, let me ask you this. What is ideally, what is the perfect
Don't
size?
ask this. You're gonna hurt yourself.
No,
perfect size.
seriously,
You're
I
gonna
don't
hurt
care.
yourself.
I really don't care. I really,
Okay.
Sure.
I
Here's
really,
the thing. Here's the thing.
I really don't care.
Didn't
She's
Rachel
not
already
gonna.
answer this. She
I
said
need
it doesn't
an
matter.
She's really not gonna
as
insult
long as
me.
you know what you're doing.
He's not gonna be upset about this.
I really, honestly, I haven't measured in a long time, so I really don't
I
know
know
what
how
size
long
I am.
Okay.
I should probably measure.
I'm gonna preface with
I'm
my-
not gonna get offended. I
the
seriously,
ex
I won't.
that I had before Tate,
Was bigger.
massive.
Huge.
Like shit.
I'm not saying. Deep
down though.
I would say
Peter.
I'm very average
Peter.
sized. Very average.
I'm average.
Very,
Off mic. What
very
is it?
average.
Off camera, off mic.
But
It hurt.
let me say this. Let me say this.
It hurt.
Off camera.
Shit hurted.
Off camera, off mic.
Oh!
I will say, my ex, like, before we started hooking up, he had sent me dick pics. You know, like the fucking Arizona tea bottle?
I don't.
That big.
Not anymore.
Are we talking girthy or
We are
long?
talking length, and girth was, like, a little, yes.
Like, if this was
He
like-
had
What's
a,
he called?
he had a huge dick. And that shit hurt sometimes.
Yeah.
And it was not fun to like give him head. None of that shit was fun for me because it hurt. The sex was good, but not because of the fact that he had a big dick. So I am like very honest when I say that size does not matter. If you
No.
know what you're doing,
That's why I don't care anymore.
yes, because
I genuinely
I don't
care.
give a shit because the job gets done.
yes. If both of us, if we're getting off, if we're having fun,
it doesn't matter.
Great, it doesn't matter.
That means it works. That means it works.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Dick size.
Ciao.
Your dick is perfect just the way it is. My guy.
More of the story,
Don't be insecure about your penis.
Let me ask you this: what is the optimal?
Optimal dick size.
I heard 8 inches is optimal.
No, 8 inches hurts. 8 inches is a lot.
I've heard 5 inches.
The female, the vaginal canal, the only part that females can feel, is only 6 inches.
Yeah.
So anything bigger than that,
It's
either the guy can't get it in or it hurts the girl. So I would say 5 inches is probably optimal in my personal experience.
5 to 5.5, 5 to 6 inches.
No, you're not hurting me.
Get a little liquor in
My opinions are just saying hella controversial.
Sometimes you
You like my baby pee-pee? Hold on, time out. We're all talking at the same time.
Tate wants to hurt me with his penis.
Okay.
That is out of context.